A cat named Whiskers found herself alone in a bustling city. She had been separated from her family during a move. The noise and chaos of the city were overwhelming, but Whiskers was determined to find her way back home. In the first scene, Whiskers wandered through narrow alleyways, sniffing the air for any familiar scents. She encountered other stray cats, but none of them knew where her family might be. Despite the setbacks, she pressed on, her heart full of hope. The second scene showed Whiskers venturing into a busy marketplace. The smells of food were tempting, but she couldn't afford to be distracted. She weaved through the crowd, narrowly avoiding being stepped on. Her eyes scanned the faces, hoping to see someone she recognized. In the third scene, Whiskers found herself at the edge of a park. The greenery was a stark contrast to the concrete jungle she had been navigating. She paused to rest under a tree, her ears twitching at the sounds of children playing. For a moment, she felt a pang of loneliness. The fourth scene depicted Whiskers crossing a busy street. Cars zoomed past, and the noise was deafening. She waited for a lull in the traffic before darting across. On the other side, she found a quiet neighborhood that seemed more familiar. Her heart raced with anticipation. In the fifth scene, Whiskers explored the quiet neighborhood. She sniffed at doorsteps and peered into windows. The houses looked similar to her old home, but none of them were quite right. She meowed softly, hoping her family might hear her call. The sixth scene showed Whiskers resting on a porch, exhausted from her journey. The sun was setting, casting a warm glow over the neighborhood. She closed her eyes, dreaming of her family. Just as she was about to drift off, she heard a familiar voice calling her name. In the final scene, Whiskers followed the voice, her heart pounding with excitement. She turned a corner and saw her family standing there, their faces filled with relief and joy. She sprinted towards them, her tail high in the air. They scooped her up, and she purred contentedly, finally home.